It's personal effects. For the Aquarius people and the Leo people, okay? And I don't mean people just born during the month of Aquarius, January and February, and people born in July and August. I'm not just referencing those Leos and Aquariuses. We have a different type of identifier too, all right? Your ascending sign. In other words, what sign was rising in the east when you were born? Regardless of what your sun sign is, what you think you are. Okay. I'm talking to the Aquarius risings and the Leo risings too. Okay. And these two types of Leos and Aquariuses happen every day. All right. They're born every day. All right. So if you know your rising sign, then you know I'll be addressing you. To break it down further, people who have had problems with their feet since childhood, broke your foot, injured your foot, can't get rid of foot fungus type of injury, all right, type of a recovery process. And Aquarius has Cancer, pardon me, Virgo in the egg. So people who have a problem with their lower digestive tract, all right, it'd be a great number of these people. This is who I'm talking to, all right. This Mars and Pluto alignment gives us indications that personally, y'all will be working on your temperament and your desire nature. That's to put it generally. To put it at a higher place, you're working on your motivations, all right? And you're working on the morality or the worthiness of these motivations and enthusiasms, okay? This fight with the desires for Aquarius and Leo, this personal struggle with your own natures, higher and lower natures, is going to be focused on and in effect, in power, in force for the next 20 years or so. Because Pluto is going to be in there trying your temperaments, particularly those people who have these two signs in their ascendant, okay? And I just explained to you what the ascendant was. To learn what the ascendant is, go to astro.com, put in your birth information, pull up the chart, make sure you have the correct time of birth, all right? Time of birth is an issue here. This is what determines what your day sign is. And your day sign is pretty much what we read to derive all your benefits and your challenges, okay? So understand that. I want to convey that. I can't convey it enough. But this Mars-Pluto opposition also gives indication to people who are being injured and or die, Pluto, by fire, Mars, okay? And we're going to see high tension with the police into action with the public throughout the course of the year because of this. This chart marks the entire year, like your birth chart marks your entire life. However, it is not enough to just read this chart on its face. You have to apply its motion to see how it's going to manifest over the years that come. Okay. On January 16th, a man killed himself. Pluto means to take life, to move life from one place to another. This is why Pluto isn't just death. It's gestation. It's the embryonic process. It is fertilization, coitus. It is the orgasm that comes from it. It describes that life surge, okay? It describes the impregnation of the ovary. It describes the process of cell division and the formation of a body, the delivery of that baby, the cutting of the cord. This Pluto Mars talks about life and death and its evolutionary path, its growth and development, and in turn is death and decay. That entire process. All right? Now, when we throw Mars into the equation, it begins to activate things. And on the lowest level, Mars is anger. Okay? It's the same drive and energy that you put into your anger, you also put into moving an object that requires strength. Okay, you put that same energy into your basketball game, into your defense or your offense, into your combat if you're fighting verbally or physically. Okay, this is the energy we're talking about with Mars, and it burns things up. All right, so Mars and Pluto, Mars being peril or dangerous, and Pluto talking about life, threats to life were made worldwide with this alignment, in accord with this alignment. When I heard on the news, because I was listening to the news, that a Tesla car was blown up in front of Trump Towers, I was like, wow, that sent a very clear message, because Trump, in winning the election, hired Elon immediately, brought Elon into his cabinet immediately. So that blowing up of that car is a definite statement speaking to that alliance between the president of this here United States and his number one social site owner. Okay, well, really Mark Zuckerberg, number one, and he on board too. Okay, you see how as soon as Trump was confident he was going to win the election, because I believe he said this before the election, he was going to speak to all of the social sites and remove the censorship. All right, because he suffered personally from the censorship. Right, this is the Mars. He's pertinent to the Mars motion. This cat has Mars rising. All right, and he has Mars in Leo. So all of these threats on his life and these attempts on Trump's life is giving indication by this planetary alignment between Mars and Pluto. All right. Mars represents heads and Leo represents administrators. Okay, kings and monarchs and administrators, CEOs and headmen. So Mars would be the attack, would be indication of the attack on the president, Leo. You see? So there are going to be more attacks on his life, and I believe they're going to be using explosives. Now, normally the guys that they've been catching have had guns, firearms, but because they're going to beef up his security so tight, they're not going to be able to get him with your normal means. And there are going to be attempts on his life using explosives. And why do I think that? Because I'm not 100% sure, but I'm 85% convinced. All right? Because the Pluto, in this case, is now in his 7th house, in his house of open enemies. Okay? And Pluto is assassins and special tactics and life-taking individuals, killers, however you put it, accidental or on purpose, right? Well, it's in the sign of Aquarius, which is the sign of technology, which is the sign of explosions and explosives and things exploding, okay? Explode is the motif word, the root word for Uranus, all right? Lightning and thunder and torrential weather as well. So we see in the astrological canon that Pluto tends to extremes. It intensifies things. It acts like a gigantic magnifying glass. So whatever planet it pairs itself up with, we can really look at the activating planet and use Pluto to say intensely. All right, it's an adjective in this perspective that I'm conveying to you. Okay, so because Pluto is in Aquarius and Leo, when figuratively speaking, Leo is a sunny day. Okay, and Aquarius is storm-filled, lightning and thunder and lightning and dark cloud, or a hurricane or a tornado or any type of extremely torrential weather, in contrast to the sunny day. All right. And emotionally speaking, see, don't take this as I am speaking to individuals here, because I'm talking about the sign symbolism of Leo, regardless of the human behavioralism, okay? Leo points to a lot of things. Gold, it points to the sun, it points to sunshine, it points to light, period, illumination, to anything that is bright, talented. When it comes to people, it's talent, okay? That slipped out, right? But when it comes to the structure of society, it talks about the chief administrators, okay? The kings and queens and the presidents and the prime ministers and the presidents of companies and CEOs and floor managers on the lowest level, all right? So when we see Mars and Leo here, this is like conflict amongst those in high places, conflict with the higher ups, with the administrators, and assertions because of because of Mars's place in there. Something is being asserted. A person's authority is being asserted in opposition to Pluto in Aquarius. Now, let me tell you something. Let me hip y'all to something, okay? I don't know how long we got tonight, so I'm gonna try to be brief on everything, right? And let me tell you, you can come to my Instagram and get in my lectures. I just opened up a page